Alright, it's time to stick some windows in. I'm really glad you said that.
What?
I'm recording.
Please don't put that on here. Please don't.
I have to.
No. No, I'm never getting in the camera again.
This probably says don't do it in really hot weather.
Yeah.
Never use in Texas.
In our case, we couldn't do anything here.
Yeah. Got it? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Your tiny baby window.
That's way too big. Like that's way too big. What the heck is going on?
What is the little...
The ring.
It won't fit?
Yeah, it's
I thought we fit it.
It's not going to fit. Like there's no way we can make this thing fit.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Is this the only one we didn't fit or what?
I don't know what's going on with it, but it's significantly too large for the hole. Like it's probably a whole quarter inch to a half inch too big.
Okay, so how do you fix it?
We removed the seal on that thing. We had more goop on it and just allow that to be our seal.
What? Why can't you just cut that in half or something and like make it smaller? And then at least it'll be like, we'll have a couple of points where it's holding on.
Maybe.
Because that's what they did. You can see the bottom, they made it and put it together. You know what I'm saying? That little metal piece.
Last one. You really have a doorway. We ran out of the window weld, so the last thing we got is this door. We're gonna use this window and door silicone from Ace. Hope it's good enough. At least we got the top done with the window weld, so that should be good enough. At least whenever it's sitting there, hopefully it'll seal pretty good. On the door, we used what is typically used on roofs. It's a self-tapping screw or self-drilling screw with a rubber grommet. In theory, it was a good idea, but I don't know if you can tell, but it was too wide and it kind of folds itself in. Oh, there we go. It doesn't look that great. So you don't really need to. We ran a bead of sealant behind it, so that would be more than enough to seal off those screws. You don't really need the rubber grommet. So I recommend just getting some self-drilling screws and sealing behind it. Okay, we got all the windows and doors in. There are some parts that aren't sitting flat. So I'm just gonna fix it by sealing it up with that window and door sealant, which I was gonna do that anyways, but just have to use more now. I'll give you an example. Right under here. Let's see. I don't know if you can tell, but right under there, and a couple other places, like right in here, it's not sitting flat all the way. Most everything is sitting flat. These are all good. All this is good back here, and the kitchen window and the driver window, they all seem to be sitting good. Next step will most likely be getting all the windows and doors sealed. Alright, like I said, I did a terrible job on this window. It is not seated all the way flush, so what I'm going to use to seal it up, you can see it. It is Dynatron number 550. This stuff is sandable and it's paintable, so it can go around these seams. If it gets too goopy, we can kind of sand it down a little bit to feather it out, so when we do go to paint, one, the paint will stick to it, and two, it won't look like such a hard transition to a bunch of sealer or silicone, like silicone would look like. Okay, let's get to it. Oh, before doing this, as you see, I taped around this window just because the glass goes all the way to the edge, and I don't want to get this on the glass. Also, I degreased it. Clean now. Okay, the stuff, it's really fast. There we go. It dries fast, so you kind of have to work quickly with it, or it skins over fast. It looks terrible, but I'll be able to sand some of it. What did get on the edge of the window, I was able to get off with paint thinner. So I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know if you can tell what it looks like. It didn't look that great, but I'm hoping it's sealing it. We'll find out later, and I'll just add more if not. It's a bummer that it didn't seal properly the first time, but I guess that's the way things go. So we're gonna start on the rest of them. And Deanna is about to go around, sand every seam. So like right in here, all this has got to get sanded so we can put the heavy bodied seam sealer from 3M on it. Same thing with all this, every piece, even on the roof. So that's what our day is going to be consisting of.
terrible.
Alright, using the seam sealer, the heavy-bodied seam sealer.
Feeling good, and then it just starts globbing out.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing with this stuff. Stuff has a 6-minute work time, and what we found so far seemed to be easier is you let it kind of harden a little bit before you start trying to smear it and like smooth it out, because it'll smooth a little bit better. If you do it too soon, it's like silicone and it just kind of plobs up and you just get a bunch of buildup and didn't work that great. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes and then I'm gonna go behind her and start smoothing it. That one looks okay, but everywhere else, like down here, all the way over here, up here, all that, I hope it caught it, but it looks terrible. So we're gonna pause. I mean, look at this. All that down there. It just looks crummy. So I think we're gonna pause and run to YouTube and see if we can figure out a better way. We finished up for the day. We got the whole bus sealed, seam sealed. We got all the hatches up top replaced with, or covered up, sealed. All the windows are sealed. We do have some holes up top that we need to, I gotta weld. I gotta get these, I gotta seal these up. And man, I don't know if you can see all this. This all the way up. I mean everywhere, it just looks cruddy. We just went with it. I just took my finger trying to feather everything out. We're not 100% sure it's sandable, which I think it is. I looked at some reviews. It doesn't say sandable on the product specifications or details, but some people, at least one person that we found, said you can sand it. We'll see. It feels, I don't know if it just takes a while, but it feels like rubbery, like almost like silicone, like you can't sand it. But it said you after a few hours, it's good enough. So we're gonna go with that. I'll let you know if it is sandable. If it's not, don't ever use it. Find something else like the semi-rigid seam sealer, which is sandable. Okay, good morning. We got this thing sealed up here. I don't know if you can see it very well. Got it all sealed up. It scrapes off. As you can see, I scraped some of it off. And it sands ever so slightly, but it doesn't sand very well. It's still rubbery feeling. It's like silicone or something. But it is what it is. It's wiped. I mean, it's all over the bus, so yeah. I'm leaving it. I mean, if it sands, it sands. If it doesn't, it'll just look like junk, I guess.